My name is Jonathan McDaniel, and growing up, I was what you might call a black or white person. It's either black or white, no gray, ever, right or wrong. My sister, on the other hand, was more of a free-flowing, as long as you're following the spirit of the law type person. So, naturally, it was my duty and my honor to be the world's most astute tattletale. Mom, she had two cookies instead of one. Mom, the coloring book said to use blue, but she used pink. The horror. However, on my tattletale crusade, sometimes I would get myself in trouble too. Mom, she had her eyes open during the prayer. We all know how that one ended. How do you know her eyes were open unless, say it with me,
your eyes were open too.
You know, my story always reminded me of Luke 6, verse 42. But how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out that's in your eye, when you yourself do not see the log that's in your own eye? When we are young, we are good at finding the speck in other people's eyes. That's probably why we are told to put your hand on top of your head, you take care of this person. Bless those elementary teachers. But as we get older, it's not quite the same, is it? We don't want to be known as the tattletale, because that's just not cool. So we should keep our mouths shut and pretend like we didn't see anything. And you never tell on your friends. You back them up no matter what, right? Because after all, it's not our business if someone's getting bullied. It's not up to me to do anything if someone's hurting themselves. It's not my concern if a friend ends up with a baby. And it's definitely not my fault if someone shows up with a gun. Sometimes, other people's business is our business. In the book of Esther, we learn about a young Jewish woman who was put in a very difficult situation. She was married to the king of Persia, making her queen. And she learned of a plot to kill all of the Jews. Esther knew the right thing to do was to speak up and tell the king. But anyone who came before the king uninvited was to be put to death. Sometimes we know what the right thing to do, but we find reasons to talk ourselves out of it. Now, I admit, Esther had a pretty valid reason for being scared to do the right thing here. Her cousin Mordecai helped her find courage, though. Perhaps you have come to a royal position for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. As most of us already know, Esther found the courage to speak up and save her people. And save God's people. God put Esther right where she needed to be. Perhaps He's doing the same thing with us. Perhaps it is your turn to save God's people. After all, maybe God put you there to witness against that bully, or to notice the marks on your friend's arm, to speak to them about purity. Or maybe He just intended for you to notice that person who is mad and about to lose control. And who knows, but He has put you in your position for such a time as this. In James 4:17, we learn that so whoever knows the right thing to do, but fails to do it, for him it is sin. By choosing to mind our own business all of the time, we aren't just missing an opportunity to help people. We are sinning. Whether we want to admit it or not, I think we all see things in black or white. It's just that sometimes we don't like the consequences of dealing with it. So we pretend to see the world around us in a gray. We make excuses and ignore the problem. Esther was faced with the death penalty, but she still chose to do the right thing. She didn't pretend to see a gray. She spoke out to protect others. Speaking out to protect each other is not being a tattletale. How many times do you think tragedies could have been avoided if someone just spoke out when they thought something was wrong? So I challenge all of us to stop pretending to see gray. Stop making excuses for speaking out. And let's stop minding our own business. Thank you.